Great morning, sales teams, and welcome to YOSM. My name is Emma Monroe, and I'm the creator of your online sales manager. I'm so excited to bring you our guest speaker today, Shane Ridley from O-Train, who will be interviewed by Anoop Anchal, our Australian sales manager. I'll hand it over to you, Anoop.
Thanks, Emma, and welcome everyone to our Thursday morning edition of YOSM. And as usual, we have our guest speaker. Shane's a very dear friend of mine. I've known him for a number of years. Very, very entrepreneurial in what he does. At the moment, I think he's got about 5 companies on the go. Shane's also, I would hold in high regard as a pretty good salesperson. And I'll say this is, Shane just doesn't give up. He really knows when to go. I've seen him when he's sort of kicked to the curb, and he just picks himself up and keeps going. So it's a real pleasure that I introduce Shane Ridley. And Shane, welcome aboard.
Great, thanks, Ed. Thanks, Alan.
Shane, do you want to just kick us off and just give us a bit of a background on your, I guess, your business, O-Train, that you've launched off recently, and just the background of where you come from?
Okay, sure. So I guess starting with O-Train, O-Train's a web-based software platform that helps primarily employers to create, deploy, assess, record and report on their internal training. So we help with things like induction and onboarding, and hopefully soon some sales training in there.
Okay, awesome.
My background, I guess I've been in the human resource sector for the last 10 or 12 years. Most of my professional career has been in human resources, and I guess from a selling perspective, it's telling or showing or selling employers the service that you know, of outsourcing their recruitment or their HR needs, anything from you know, entry-level workers right through to senior board-level placements. Great.
Well, can I just ask about O-Train in a little bit more detail? So how can an employer benefit from the programs that you offer? Because I mean, YOSM is all about, you know, one component of the sales training, but there's a whole heap of other things that, you know, when you talk about outsourcing, how can that be beneficial for an employer? What you can offer?
Look, there's, I mean, lots of benefits with web-based training, and I guess in much the same line as this format of training that YOSM delivers is that just the availability of it.
Yeah.
You know, you can log in from any location with our training anywhere in the world on almost any device or application, and deliver that. An employer, who's our target market, can deliver that message. You know, we've got clients in the transport industry, for example, who regularly have drivers sitting at the port waiting for up to 3 hours to be loaded or unloaded.
Sure.
You know, our clients are now issuing them with iPads, and in that 3-hour downtime, they're able to deliver training on things like fatigue management and, you know, load restraint and those sorts of things.
Right.
And the benefit of O-Train over using something like YouTube is that all of the courseware is customized, so you're not getting a general story on, in this case, fatigue management. You get something that's specific to the employer, showing their people in their uniforms operating their transport vehicles, you know, lined up in their queues. So it really creates a greater sense or level of buy-in from the you know, the employees, because it feels like their environment. It's part of their culture.
Right. It's a funny question. You talk about technology and the new business area with the digital age we're in. How is technology helping you as far as the sales process is concerned now?
Look, the technology as far as sales really only, in my humble opinion, really only goes as far as marketing.
Sure.
Sales is, in my mind, and you're the guru, but sales is about being in front of people and talking to people, and there's no better way than getting toe-to-toe, you know, across a desk or a table and eyeballing someone and having that one-on-one conversation. So technology is certainly helping, and we're big users of technology in terms of our CRM system, our weekly communications, setting appointments. We do some of our demonstrations via webinar, all those sorts of things. But I guess in the purest sense of sales, and you can debate all day what sales is, but in our business, it's still about getting in front of people, making the calls, getting the appointments, getting in front of them.
Well, yeah, I have to totally agree with you. Have I lost you, Shane?
No, still here, sir.
No? Okay, good. I have to agree with you. I mean, definitely from a sales perspective, being in front of the customer is vitally more important than just trying to do something behind the scenes or just even sitting behind a computer. I guess my question was more targeted towards that when you do get in front of the client to actually do a demonstration, say, the flavour of the month at the moment is trying to use an iPad and present your product. And I've seen some salespeople fail dismally where they can't find the file, or they get clumsy and they get flustered and frustrated. Is this something you guys have actually come across when you're going through a demonstration? And if it is, or you have done it well, how are you planning and managing that effectively?
Look, we use we try and keep the sales process pretty simple. We've got a couple of YouTube clips which we have shortcuts to, which link to some animations which explain our product a little. In terms of the structure of our sales call, we like to get them out very early. We like to, have the prospect that we're sitting opposite get that they're both about a minute and a half, but an animated overview of what we do, and a bit of the sales pitch, and to talk about the software, and to introduce a whole raft of ideas and concepts which we can then talk to and work with. So we're certainly using the iPad, and I mentioned the webinar. We just try and be organised beforehand and to have those files easily accessible. I know from my own perspective, I hate it when a salesman's, whether they're looking for a file on an iPad or fluffing around in their briefcase to find some document. It's just a waste of time. I guess the other thing is that we save those files to the local device. So whilst our program is web-enabled, for us it needs to be on the device. We don't want to be reliant on a Telstra signal or the prospect's Wi-Fi to get that message up. We need to have it there ready to go.
I think that's a very valid point you raised, and the listeners that are listening today, please understand one thing is that if you have to use devices, make sure that they are locked into the device and you're not trying to scramble off a signal and then trying to download the actual product that you want to show the prospect. Now,